everyone, it's Di here from Diane and welcome back to another Sunday video. This week we're going to make this card. It's called a faux pinwheel card. This one I've done with all retired products, but it's just beautiful. I've embossed the top white layer here as well. So I just thought it was absolutely gorgeous. So I did this with all stuff that's actually retired, which was Happiness Abounds stamp set, and I can't remember the name of the paper. Hues of Happiness. So, oh my goodness, look at this paper, it's really dirty. I have to change this soon. So this is what we're going to make, but I'm going to actually use Pansy Patch because I will imagine that this will retire in April when the new catalogue comes out, because it's been in the catalogue for a few years. So I'm going to use this set, and I'm using the little things. I think this is what it says. No, that's not the one I'm using, is it? No, this one. Wishing you a little extra happiness just because you're you, and happy birthday. I'm not using the stamps because I still had some of the DSP left over. So I actually cut out the flower to go in the middle out of the DSP and the leaves as well, because I still had some left over. So I'm going to be using also this Ornate Floral 3D embossing folder, which is a retired product, and I'm going to be using an in colour from 2020-2022, which was called Bumblebee. So they're what I'm going to be using. I'm also going to be using this, the double oval punch, and I think this is still available at the present time. Okay, so that's our card. Let me show you what you need. Alright, so just bring in all these bits. That's my flower. So I'll pop that on one side. This is my punched out label, which I've punched the small one out of a piece of white, which was only 1 inch by 2 1/4. And I'm going to stamp that. And then the scalloped one was a piece that is 1 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. So let's pop them on one side so we know that they're done. So you know roughly what size. It's just the pieces of scrap, really. Okay, so we're going to need a card base that measures 5 7/8 by 8 1/4. You're going to need for the outside and the inside. So you're going to need 2 of these for layer 1, which measure 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. And then I'm doing this in white on both of them, so, and that's entirely up to you. But I've got the next layer, which this one is too wide. I have not cut this one right. Woohoo! Let's cut this one right then. 3 7/8. Ooh, that one's cut right. Maybe it's this one that's not cut right. Oh, no, this should be 3 5/8. This one is cut wrong. 3 5/8. There we go. We've got that one right now. Okay, so then you're going to need 2 layers. One for the inside in white and one for the outside in whatever colour you like. But I'm having white again, which measure 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. Now this one, as I said, for the front I've actually embossed it, or you can see it nicely there when the embossing. Okay, so let's put them out one. Then you're going to need 2 pieces for your pinwheel that measure 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and we're going to have to stick them together like so, but we'll do that in a minute. Then I've got 2 different kinds of DSP, so you're going to need 4 that measure 1 1/4 by 1 1/4, and then another 4 of a different one so that they intermatch, that measure 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. Okay, so that's everything we need. So let's pop them out of the way for a second, and let's bring in the scoreboard and just score our main card. So we're going to score our main card on the long side with the small ball, this small ball, at 4 1/8 inch. And that's all the scoring we're going to do. Alright, so let's pop that down there. Let's fold and burnish this piece over, making sure it's all lined up nicely. Nobody likes a card that's a bit you with, or at least I don't. I mean, if somebody sends me a card like that, I'm still grateful to the fact that they have spent the time to make it for me. So that's our main card, and we're going to glue our front layers 1 and 2 together, and then glue them to the front of the card. I'm using all the paper I'm using for this card is all retired, because this colour is called Polished Pink, and this one is called, the other one is called Bumblebee. But as you know, I try to use new products, and I try to use retired products so that I can use up all my bits and pieces. Okay, that's my front layer. Let's stamp our insert. We'll do our bit of stamping now. Let's see if this is going to stamp. Oh, yep. It's been a while since I've used this one, so I thought I'd better check. Okay, so that's my insert stamped. And let's stamp my happy birthday for the front of the card as well while we're at this. So that's all got time to dry nicely. Yep, all done. Okay. That one was a tight one. Let's pop that on one side. Let's glue inside layers 1 and 2 together and pop them onto the inside of the card, and then we can spend our time doing our pinwheel. Okay, inside of the card, making sure we've got it done the right way. We don't want our words upside down. That's it. No air bubbles, and that's all. That's the front and the inside of the card done for that part. Okay, so now we're going to bring in these bits, and the way I found this to be the easiest was to put this on here like so, so that I had, let's see if I've got my thing, the right amount each side. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5, like so. So that was on there like that. Then I can just pop a tiny bit of glue in the middle here like this, and then I can pop this one on so that it matches up with the lines on my paper, going the opposite way. Now if you don't have grid paper like me, that's fine. You can always find another way around it, I'm sure of it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. So I haven't got that on very straight, have I? Numa. There we go. I've got it there. It needs to come down a tiny bit. Oh. Once I'm happy with where that is, I can then just go underneath here and pop some more glue in there so that it sticks down like so. And I can give that a nice press down. Okie dokie. So I've got my piece here ready like this. Now I've got 4 of this one and 4 of this one here. Now I find it's easier if you've got a pattern that it doesn't really matter which way around it goes. But that's just me. There is no right or wrong for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to just start with either one, doesn't matter which, And which is going to be your right side. You're going to put a bit of glue just down the right side of your first square, and you're going to line it up in here, leaving a small border on this side and this side. Once you've done that, you'll pick the next one, and I'm going to put some glue down the right side again. The reason you're putting it down the right side is because that will then glue along this edge, but we don't want to glue it down hard at the present time. Okay, round one more along the right edge, or an edge, if only one edge, if you have got a paper that doesn't have a direction. Once again, move it around. Oh, I've got a frog in my throat this morning. Piece down that edge, leaving that small gap around the edge, turning it, and you'll find you'll have a hole in the middle, but that's fine. That's how it goes. Down one side, putting that glued edge along this side, always. Oops, this one. Glued edge on this side. Around we go. We've got two more to go. One more to go. Now this one, when you've put your glue on that edge, you are going to pop that around and lift the first one up to pop it under, because you really need to be able to pop him in there underneath that one. This one's not going too well. The glue was a little bit over the top. That's okay. And we have him underneath there like so. Now we're going to just go around, pop a tiny bit of glue on each one of those if you wish. If they don't stick up, we won't worry about it. That's the only one that's sticking up, and I'm going to just pop a little bit around on the inside underneath that. Not that that really matters either. Okay, so that's that part done. Let's glue these two bits together, because most everything else now is done with dimensionals. So I've glued those together, and we're going to bring in our dimensionals. We're going to glue this to the front or up off the piece. I don't want it to be flat. You could put it flat if you really wanted to, but I just think, no, I want it to sit up a bit. Oops. Well, I've got this here, I might as well do this one as well. And that's done. Okay, so now it's just a matter of assembly. So we're going to pop these off of here. And we're going to pop this on. Now we can pop that on straight like that if you want, or like I did with this one, I put it on an angle. So I'm going to do this one on an angle again. That's just because that's the way I like it. There isn't, like, you can put it that way if you want, but I just like the idea that it's on an angle. So I've placed that on there nicely like so. I'll pop this one just out of the way for a second. We will pop our saying down the bottom here, our sentiment, and now we'll pop our flower on. Now it doesn't have to be a flower. You could make this as a nice Christmas card even. I know it's early in the year, so I wouldn't want to make Christmas. Valentine's, Easter, any of those sort of things. If you've got some lovely Valentine's paper or Easter paper, that would look really great. So there's my flower in the middle, and then I'm just going to use a little bit of glue on my leaves, pop my leaves under here. Like so. Let's pop that glue bottle down, it makes it easier for me to move. There we go. Let's pop the pin in the glue. Come on, get in the glue. There we go. And then I've got some of these opal rounds, and they're from the year 21-23 in colours, but there's some nice yellow ones here, so I'm going to actually use those, and I'm going to pop these on my card. Okie dokie, that's my card for today. What do you think? Oh, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love that pinwheel look. It's just beautiful. And it's a great way of using up some of your smaller scrappy pieces of card at DSP without throwing them out. I mean, either of these pieces are only 1 1/4 inches wide, so you don't need a lot, you know. So, I mean, that's 1 1/4 by 1 1/4, so that's 2 1/2, 5 inches by 1 1/4, and you've got 4, and then you just another 4 the same. So what do you think? I think that's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to just put a little bit of Winker Stella, if I can get the lid off, if there's anything in it, over my pansy. I'm not really coming out very well. I think this one's empty. Oh no. Oh no. No, there we are. There's a little bit. Okay, it's not easy to see on the screen here. But that's our card for today. If you've enjoyed today's project, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I always answer all the comments, even if it's just to say thank you. If you would like the written tutorial for this, please head down to the bottom here. You'll find a link to Diane for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. That's my Facebook group page. There you can go and join the group, and please answer the question to join. And when you've done that, you can download the tutorial for this and all my other projects. And I will see you all again next week with another project. Oh, I think we've got a Wowzer Wednesday in the middle of all of this as well. So I will see you again soon, and be safe, and I will see you then. Bye.